Now we're getting into actual stuff on SketchUp. So we are going to be doing a little model of a wall frame here. What this is going to do is allow us to learn how to use SketchUp really well to make stuff to dimensional sizes. And it's also going to get us kind of the basic idea behind wall framing. This is a great plan that tells us what we're doing here. So we have a 2x4 here that lays across the bottom. That's your bottom plate. We have these members that go up from the bottom plate all the way up to the top plate, and this is called a double top plate because it's a 2x4 and a 2x4 stacked on top of each other to carry the weight of the roof. These are called studs. And then if we have an opening anywhere, we have to have a header that goes across, because if we didn't have this header and we put a truss on top of here, it would just go and squish the door. And then we have trimmer studs next to that hold the header up. So now we can go over the top and it holds it up. If we just nailed it, it would fall down. Your head hitting your head on the header would not be good. And then we have other field studs here. So we're going to make an 8-foot wall. And most walls are 8 foot or 9 foot or 10 foot tall. We're going to make an 8-foot tall wall by an 8-foot wide wall here. So we're going to start out by drawing our bottom plate. That's 8 foot. Here's just another view of that whole situation. And we're going to do a 2x4 wall. So if I go 2x4 dimensional lumber, we talk about dimensional lumber, it's 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. This is the same dimensional lumber chart you're going to see on your quiz coming up. So we're going to start SketchUp for schools. And I want this wall to run along this red axis here. So I'm going to use my mouse, or you can use the orbit tool, and I'm going to look at this side over here. I'm going to use the rectangle tool. It's about midway down. Yours may look like a circle, depending on what you were drawing last. And I want to get this set up so it goes red. And I'm going to type. I'm not going to click down here. I'm just going to start typing and it'll change it. And I'm going to go 3 space 1 divided by 2. So 3.5, comma, 1 space 1 divided by 2, enter. And if you look, it stood it up the wrong way. Darn it. So now I got to type 1 space 1 divided by 2, comma, 3 space 1 divided by 2. And because I didn't click anything in between, it just rotates it and changes it for me. And now I have my beginning of my rectangle. One thing to know that kind of helps is your views over here. I'm going to change it to Orthographic View. And I am going to change this to 3D View now. Now, we're going to go to Push-Pull. I'm going to grab onto this. I'm going to make it a stud. And I'm going to call it 8 feet. So 8 and then apostrophe. Enter. So now, and if you get this little thing happening, just go to Zoom Extents. And it doesn't happen anymore. This is my bottom plate. I can check it out. Underneath the tape measure tool, I have my dimension tool. Click on this line, bring it out, 3.5. Click on this line, bring it over, 1.5 inches. Click on this line, bring it out. I'm 8 feet long. 3.5, 1.5 inches, 8 feet long. If anything was incorrect there, you just erase it and do it over again. Or hit the undo until you get back to what was correct. Undo is right down here. And fix that. And that's how we build our bottom plate. The next quick step to this is we're going to take care of it by creating a component of this. So if I go to components here, I'm going to close my views tab. Here's my components. I need to select this. So I'm going to triple click on it. Right click, make component. I'm going to call it bottom plate. And I can even say 8 feet long. I don't care about any of this stuff, and hit OK. That kind of locks it in. And it says bottom plate 8 feet long. If I need another bottom plate, I can just click on here and bring in another bottom plate, bring in as many as I need. Kind of a nice little feature. And my bottom plate is done.